All right, Fight Card fans, we're back with the co-main event, FCE 69, shaping out to be an unbelievable night of action. Finish after finish, and here we go. Christian Reynoso alongside your super lightweight champion, Tyler Funky Bones Jones. We got a big fight on our hands, buddy.
This is the fight that I wanted to commentate tonight, and we're getting to do it. I mean, this is going to be an absolute battle. Both of these guys on the precipice of being pro fighters. I mean, this is a high-level fight right here.
No doubt. Matt Cantwell comes to us 5-0 out of the one-touch fight team, which is actually 18-0 as a team this year. Oh, boy. A heavy leg kick landed there by Jordan Baxter. But it's actually after landing it that he kind of stumbles off as they regain in the middle of the cage. Exchange strikes and leg kicks.
Jordan employing a bit of a traditional martial arts style, right? Very taekwondo-based, kicking a lot with the foot, right? He's got a very wide stance, and you can see Matt kind of bullying his way in to go for these single leg takedowns, to go for these doubles and put him on his back. Absolutely.
Jordan Baxter with a more of a side fighting stance, exactly like Tyler said, more of a traditional stance. And with Matt Cantwell, that 5-0 record, we got 4 submissions and a knockout. So this guy is here to finish.
Baxter's looking to spin. He's setting up his hands to spin. You saw his hips kind of give a little bit of a tell with that 3-2. Looks like he's going to spin and use that back leg as a weapon.
So is that what we're seeing here, Tyler? You think it's more of a preparation for a next big move that we're seeing from Jordan Baxter?
I think so, and it seems that he's cut Cantwell up on the nose there. That 1-2 or that 3-2 that he threw earlier, right down the pipe, seems to have busted the nose off.
Jordan Baxter not at all intimidated by the undefeated fighter alongside the cage from him. And you're right, it looks like one of those strikes may have caused some damage on the nose of Matt Cantwell.
You know what? His nose is broken.
It actually does. I would agree with that. It's not just cut, but it looks like the bridge of the nose of Matt Cantwell pushed in slightly off of one of the strikes of Jordan Baxter. And this just the first 2 minutes of the opening stanza in our co-main event.
Baxter's doing a really good job punishing Cantwell every time that he closes the distance, right? It's not just frames, it's not just jabs, it's twos, it's threes. Every time he steps into that pocket, Baxter's making it through.
Impressive how Baxter is allowing Cantwell to control the center of the cage, but by no means is he receiving any punishment. Very elusive on the outside.
Cantwell's doing exactly what he needs to do. Mix it up. Be more active, right? The more active he is, the better he's going to be able to get inside.
Definitely doesn't seem like Jordan's the kind of guy you want to stand in front of.
Right.
As he's going to be having strikes coming from many different angles. And that nose of Cantwell.
Nose is mangled.
Absolutely. Baxter painting his masterpiece in blood on the face of Matt Cantwell thus far. In this, the first round of our co-main event, FCE 69. What a show thus far, my friend.
I mean, we talked about it earlier in the night. All of these fights were ready to deliver, and all of them have. I mean, we've seen knockout after knockout after knockout, and now we see just a fantastic striking display by Baxter.
Let's take a look at that face of Matt Cantwell as Brett Brendel looks to clean up that nose a little bit. And the doctor, oh boy, the doctor and the referee, Rob Madrigal, over there to take a closer look at Matt Cantwell and the amount of punishment he's gotten from, that nose.
That's a broken nose right there.
Sadly, I can say through experience, I've been there. That thing is shattered.
Myself
and
included. First fight ever, broken nose. So.
And now one has to wonder what that means moving forward. It's not just the adversity, but what are the effects moving forward? We both know that fractured nose isn't just painful. Yeah. There's going to be blood flowing into the back of his throat. It's going to be harder to swallow. It's going to be harder to breathe. It's going to be pouring into the front of his mouth as he starts to breathe out of his mouth as the fight continues.
Yeah, and I think, especially because it seems that he's going to be employing a grappling heavy game plan, right? It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun to be chasing takedowns when you can only breathe out of your mouth, especially with the striking acumen that Baxter has. If he catches him with a 1-2 while his mouth's open, he's trying to catch breath, we could see another knockout.
Wow, and I'm talking 5 seconds into this round, I can tell Jordan comes out feeling loose.
Yeah.
And the difference, and you can jump in right here, Tyler, let me know your thoughts, but to me it seems Cantwell's kind of coming forward, whereas Baxter's moving along, showing him many different angles.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing is Cantwell is trying to cover up takedown entries, cover up grappling exchanges with his striking, and Baxter's just staying on the outside. I mean, that 1-2 that he throws from this mismatched stance is just beautiful. It's right down the pipe. It's fast. It's got no fat on it. Oh, my gosh. This guy is dynamic.
Very dynamic strike, being extremely elusive. Ooh, and a flying knee attempt there by Baxter, although what it does, he creates a clinch there with Matt, which may be what he's been looking for.
Be a mistake, and Max got double. He's got double underhooks here. Baxter's going for a guillotine. It's the wrong choice. He should stick with these frames. And
finally an underhook there by Jordan Baxter, looking to thwart the takedown attempt of Matt Cantwell as he presses the action against the fence this round 2.
That's the thing, unfortunately, as we get later into this fight, blood starts becoming a factor, sweat starts becoming a factor. It becomes harder to hang on to those over-underhook positions in the clinch entries, and that's only going to pay off better for Baxter.
Yeah, Baxter by no means is he showing any signs of wear as we approach the midpoint of this fight. He seems very energetic, moving forward, moving side to side, and continuing to kind of pepper the face of Matt Cantwell in this, our second round.
I like to see Matt get a little more active with his lead hand. He's throwing one shot at a time right now, and Baxter's able to counter off it. From this mismatched position, you have to be hand fighting with that lead hand, right? Notice how Baxter's lead foot is consistently outside of Cantwell's lead foot, and that's allowing him to line up that rear left hand. And Cantwell's got to make sure that he controls the front hand, controls the lead foot dominance, and we can maybe see the tide change here a little bit. But
very good point being brought about by our super lightweight champion, letting us know that the angles are oftentimes overlooked in this stand-up portion, but it's the angles being provided by Jordan Baxter that are creating opportunities for these strikes. Matt's hands are up. Matt's moving around, but Baxter is just a half step ahead of him.
And we noticed that Cantwell does have more success on the feet as he mixes things up, right? As he throws multi-strike combinations. And when he's just sitting here, and by Cantwell there, but as he's sitting here, one shot at a time, Baxter's able to get the intel he needs and get the strikes out and gets the counter. But as Cantwell comes forward and throws multi-strike combinations, keeps Baxter on his back foot, and that's exactly what he needs.
As we wrap up our second round, we approach that third and final round. I'm no professional judge, but I think we're going into a third round, and Baxter up 2 rounds maybe.
Yeah, I would say so. I think he's doing a very good job controlling distance. He's doing a very good job picking smart shots to throw. He's not really putting himself in danger. And not only that, he's being very elusive, as you alluded to, but he's also switching stances fluidly, right? He's consistent. He's never in southpaw for more than 20 seconds. He's never in orthodox for more than 20 seconds. He's consistently changing, and that's frustrating for Campbell. It's so frustrating.
Absolutely. He's doing a fantastic job of just kind of continuing to change the dynamic of the fight so that Matt, here as we approach the final round, is yet to really kind of settle in.
Right.
We've seen him throw some punches, but it's been a lot of kind of moving forward with single, short combinations, a single leg strike, whereas Jordan is really settled in at this point. He's all over the cage.
Yeah, and Jordan Baxter is going to have to be on his bike for the first at least 45 to a minute of this last round, because in the Cantwell corner right now, they're telling him you need to come out and you either need to finish him with strikes or you need to put him on his butt and try and finish him. So if you're Jordan Baxter, you got to know Cantwell's coming for your head right now.
Sure. I mean, you picked up a unanimous decision of a dominant win in your last outing. Is that something that's running through your head as you approach that final stands? Are you thinking, all right, I just got to kind of keep this guy off me and get to the judges, or is it? I mean, is it fruitful to look for that finish at this point?
I think it goes both ways, right? I think, especially in this situation, Baxter can use that over committing, if you will, as a means to finish, right? And that's kind of what I did as well, right? In my 5th round of my fight, I knew Slade was going to come out hard, and we used it for a takedown entry, and we did a lot of damage that round. But at the same time, it is going to play in your head like, man, I really hate to do all this fantastic work and then have it taken away from me in the last round, So it's definitely, there's a mental aspect to this game a lot. Great knee there.
In on a single leg and bringing him airborne is Matt Cantwell. This would be huge for Matt to pick up a takedown with 2 full minutes remaining in the fight, but Jordan Baxter is out. Wow, what balance and body awareness. He went airborne for a good 2-3 seconds.
Right.
Jordan Baxter gets back down to the ground and gets his leg free.
And Baxter keeps going for this guillotine, and it's opening up Cantwell's takedown opportunities. I'd like to see him do it now. Overhook and frame. That's the winning combination on these fence grappling situations, right?
I'd say Baxter looks a bit unorthodox even in his grappling, but it's been quite effective. I mean, we haven't seen him hit the mat. He's been doing a good job of, even when getting into this position against the fence. You know, we got a guy like Cantwell using that size and that muscle to press forward. I mean, up until now, Baxter's been able to eventually circle off, and there it is. There it is. And do something with the position himself.
Right. Great job done by Baxter. I mean, Baxter is looking seasoned.
Absolutely. You know, I had the pleasure of chatting to him yesterday at weigh-ins. And he was a very soft-spoken guy, clearly had a lot on his mind, but was looking kind of like he knew something the rest of us didn't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when I asked him about fighting an undefeated fighter, he didn't seem all too concerned. More concerned with what he was going to do out there. Clearly, Baxter trained and ready for Matt Cantwell tonight, as he's yet to, Cantwell's yet to find any answers for the problem that is Jordan Baxter.
Right, and we talked about this on the pre-show about this fight. If you can make the other guy play your game, you're going to win that exchange, right? No one's better at playing your game than you, and that's exactly what Baxter's done this entire fight. He's made Cantwell stick at kicking range with him, stick at long exchange and range with him, and Baxter's just come out the more clean fighter.
Well, with 12 seconds left in the fight, Cantwell gets his first takedown.
Too little, too late, unfortunately. If these are pro rounds, we never know. Things may be different, but pretty flawless performance from Baxter. Another 3 rounds in the book. Fantastic fights. Both of these guys can easily have success in the pro ranks.
Absolutely, both these guys leaving it all out there in the cage, but without consulting with our judges, I'd say it was Baxter that kind of dominated. It was just his ability to constantly change the angles. It was his ability to stay in Matt's face without staying in one spot that I think was the difference tonight, Tyler.
Yeah, I think Baxter was able to get off his strikes, know his weapons, and kind of walk Cantwell into getting hit by those, and he did an excellent job of it all night. I would say 3 rounds to none. Right, we did see the late takedown, but like we said, I think it was a little too late in my opinion. And yeah, flawless performance by Jordan Baxter, and I can't wait to see him fight again. Very impressive.
Absolutely. Cantwell looking to improve his record to 6-2, and the undefeated Matt Cantwell, he can feel pretty good about this fight as well. I mean, he kept moving forward. Maybe it was an issue of game plan, right? It's very difficult to prepare for someone as I keep calling him unorthodox.
Elusive, I think.
Elusive. We'll say he's got his own style. How do you prepare for a guy like Jordan Baxter?
Yeah, and you got to have a guy in the gym that's like that, right? Like and not every gym does. It's hard to prepare for a guy like that. But let's go in to Joe Rossi.
Let's hear it for these 2 warriors. What a contest! What a co-main event here at Supremacy 2021. And we go to the judges and the scoring cards, and all 3 judges vote 29-28 for your winner via unanimous decision for Matt Cantwell.
Well, as they say, never